Cody here for my predictions for UFC 94. Real excited. Looks like a really good card. Gonna get into it with the undercard fights. Just gonna breeze through most of these. Dan Kramer, I got him in that fight. Got Jake O'Brien. Got Chris Wilson. I got Manny Gambarian. That's an interesting matchup. I think Diego Tavares has really good submissions and stuff, but Manny is so stocky and stuff. And I think he's just gonna out wrestle him. So, and then they got John Fitch versus Gano there on the undercard. A lot of people fussing about that Fitch is on the undercard, but given his opponent, I can understand that since Gano isn't exactly a household name. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Fitch. And then we go to the main card. Nate Diaz versus Clay Guida. That is a good fight. And I like both of these guys. I've been racking my brain with who I think can win. And I'm going to go with Clay Guida. And I know that's kind of, it feels wrong kind of, because he's a, he's a wrestler. And Nate Diaz is one of those guys that really good off his back. So if Clay takes him down. But I think the difference here for me is I like Clay Guida's strength. And I think that's a problem that's always going to be with Nate Diaz, is he won't have enough strength to kind of just, be able to not be pushed around in a fight. And I'd be interested to see if Clay tries to keep this standing up, because he has some overwhelming stand-up. It's not, it's not fine-tuned or anything, but it's interesting. And Nate Diaz, he does the cat paws where he catches the hands and stuff, and kind of plays around like a kitten. Anyway, yeah, Clay. We got Karo Parisian versus Dong Hyun Kim. And that's it seems like Karo is a part of that old guard that's kind of disappearing lately. That's what I feel like. And I'm not really a fan. So I think Dong Kim's going to win. And not out of spite or anything. I just think that Dong Kim is kind of the new guard and he'll be able to handle him. If not, we'll see. But yeah, Dong Kim. Stephen Bonner versus John Jones. I was just thinking the other day, wouldn't it have been awful for the UFC if they gave that decision to Stephen Bonner against Forrest Griffin? Because it was a real close fight, and I agree, it could have gone either way, pretty much. But, I mean, after the win, after the fight, look where both fighters went. Forrest Griffin, he went on to win the title eventually. And he had a good story, a good road, But then Stephen, he gets caught with steroids, and then he gets injured a lot. So, I mean, the right fighter for the UFC won that Ultimate Fighter first finals for the 205. So, yeah. Good to see him back. I think he'll win. He's a good kid still. Well, he's not really a kid anymore, but yeah, he should have this, I hope, for his sake, because this is a match that he's set up to win. Anyway, Lyoto Machida versus Thiago Silva. Alright, here's the thing. This fight, it seems like it's put together too soon. I would rather these two fighters meet later when it meant more, because I think they could still rack up some nice wins over some good name opponents right now, and build up to something. Because it seems like this is going to be a really good fight for what name what name value they have right now, and I think they'll have much more later on. Both of these guys. It's interesting because Silva's so aggressive, but that plays right into Machida's strength. But Silva is dangerous aggressive, though, because he actually has good knockout power. I'm almost tempted to pick Silva here, but I just know how, effective Machida's style is. So I'm going to go with Machida, but I wouldn't be terribly surprised if Silva won. A lot of people don't like Machida's fights, but that one's to look out for. I think that could be a barn burner. Alright, then we got the big welterweight champ, George St. Pierre, versus lightweight champ, BJ Penn, for the welterweight title. That means 5 rounds, people. That's exciting. And it seems like everyone on the internet, Well, not everyone, but the majority is going with George St. Pierre on this one. But I'm going to look, to me, my pick's going to come from where are the fighters after they first met so many years ago. What was it, 2006? Where have they gone since then, right? And after the fight, that fight they had, BJ Penn, said, well, hey, I can't do this with talent anymore, talent alone. Cleaned up his act, actually worked out, got, a good training camp together, then went to, lightweight and tore it up. That's what he did. He improved, all right? GSP, while he improved in a lot of cases, we found a huge chink in his armor. That sounds funny, but with his loss to Sarah. I keep on calling him after my dog. But to me, I think Penn has the advantage of, after that first fight, and with how close that fight was. I mean, that was a close fight. And it just seems like Penn just edges out a little bit, for me, personally, his chances here. Because he improved so much from where he was then. And all GSP did was he kept on doing good and kept on winning. But he had that one loss to Sarah, which pointed to maybe a big weakness in his whole fighting thing, which is maybe standing up. And he hasn't really confronted that. He usually, now you'll see him taking more fights to the ground and stuff, where he's, almost really hesitant from that loss to Sarah to stand. So I'm going to take BJ Penn for the win. I'm kind of a fan, but lately he's been kind of trying to turn people off. He's one of those people, it's just, he's too overconfident for his own good, and just hurts his reputation more than anything. But yeah, I'm going to take BJ Penn. Yeah, those are my picks for UFC 94, St. Pierre versus Penn 2. I'm looking for a good card, and that looks like a good card. I hope it delivers. I know Nate Diaz versus Clay Guida, that has to deliver. How can that not deliver? If the whole card's crap, to me, that will be worth it. I hope I'm right too. I hope it is. It does deliver. All right, so those are my picks. Later. Thanks for watching. Love y'all.